going to dance again.
Dance, monkey.
Just when you thought Tex was like really a badass, didn't she just take it? Didn't Monty take it to the next level, right? I mean, yeah. I want to sit next to you.
All right, I'll sit on Marshall's lap and.
Oh, thank you. It's gonna be like an awkward family picture. Yeah, great. Oh, so. Questions after seeing that we didn't hear from yesterday would be phenomenal. Okay.
Watching the hand-to-hand combat sequences in those fight sequences, especially the one we just watched, the first thing that came to mind is was the free flow combat games from like Batman Arkham Asylum. As soon as I saw those, it's like basically watching a pinball bounce back and forth and back and forth. And I mean, this is probably a question I should be asking Monty, but if you were here, but that's like where he gets it.
You know, Monty sits and they have a screen next to them, and he literally is watching. Well, he was watching a lot of the Aliens movies and like Mission Impossible and all the action movies. So probably even like Batman, and he really does get. The whole thing is Tex. If you see that, Carolina's got one style, which is more like a martial arts, the blue freelancer that you saw, and Tex is really all about kind of like that. MMA. Yeah, exactly. Where she's just out to kill. Yeah. So he definitely has an idea behind every freelancer and what their style is. And so yeah, I mean I'm amazed when I sit there and watch.
Just the brutality of the moves reminded me of like I was playing the Arkham City demo on the floor yesterday, and the moves were just so freaking brutal, and watching Tex dismantle those guys it reminded me of that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, and he sits and he has, I mean, in the area that he works in, he has all the different props that he can. He's got the guns. He's got a treadmill so they can do the running stuff. And he is so well. He showed me a lot while I was there. I had no idea he had the dancing background that he has. But this guy can do all of those martial arts moves. So, and he can read, like if he sees something on TV, he can do it right there on the motion capture. So all of that stuff is all Monty. It's just, I mean, it's amazing. And then also we have Seb now. Seb is his second, and he helps him out with the
his whipping boy?
What's that?
His whipping boy?
Yeah, whipping boy. Seb's the man. He's a good guy.
Will we ever hear Wyoming's soothing British accent?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what, I'm not quite sure of. Who knows? You might. You may, actually. You may. Check that?
I was wondering, for the motion capture scenes where it's just two people walking around and talking, is that still Monty and Seth, you said his name was, or is it actually the voice actors doing those scenes?
Yeah, we added 3 more animators. So we have a guy named Christopher and also Mike. And they will do their shots where they're walking around. They shoot those motion capture themselves. The action they leave to Monty, but Seb is kind of the supervisor over the other 2 animators, and they will do just the walking and the basic, kind of shooting style or running on the treadmill kind of stuff. Because there's just so much in it now, we had to bring on more people.
Will the freelancer storyline continue into the next season, or will all the answers be answered this season?
That's a good spoiler. You will get so many answers in season 9 between what you just saw and the end, which is 19. You will get so many answers to the story arcs between Tex, how she became a freelancer, the freelancers, and their relationship with church and the director. But it will continue.
So I think we've seen every freelancer mentioned in the previous seasons. Are there any plans to introduce any other ones? Because I know there's more than 10 things.
I was just going to say, I don't know how many of you guys were able to grab one of the freelancer posters that we were selling at the Fan Expo, but there is somebody on that poster that we have not seen yet. Just wanted to throw that out there. No spoilers, I'm just going to say, you can look at the picture. And it's in the background of the first RT recap too. Matt has that in his office.
They just mentioned Utah in that, in episode 9, so, I mean, that's the only one I've never heard of.
They did mention Utah.
Yeah, I want to know what kind of dirt you have on the other staff members.
two kinds of people coming out of Montana, steers and queers, and I just feel more than that freelancer, so.
Wait, does that mean Donut the freelancer?
Guilty.
Which staff member in particular?
Any ones that have kicked out on checking the bill when you were with them? Is anyone that you are feeling particularly cruel to?
It's not a, it's not a staff member, but I was gonna say, I thought of, the earlier question about whether or not the voice actors are the ones doing the mocap. We did have one instance where Shannon McCormick, Agent Washington, actually squeezed into Monty's mocap suit, and we do have pictures of that, and we do have video of, what the scene was, when Washington is speaking with CT in the locker room. You know, it's a pretty dramatic scene. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. Well, Shannon puts on the suit, and he is. We have a whole bunch of mannequins and stuff that we have like just around and about in the studio. And we had one mannequin. It was like one of the half things with like no arms and like a little blonde wig and stuff like that. And he was using that as an eyeliner, like as a point of reference. So he's there. He has the suit on, and he's running all the lines to a mannequin, and he's going like, "Hey, come on, shut up, man, you can't do this." And he's just in like this tiny little, way too small for a Monty suit. And yes, we have several pictures and video of Shannon like spilling his heart and soul out to an inanimate object. That's the first thing that comes to mind, though. And I need to see if we can maybe get that on the. I'd love to see that.
I actually have some dirt on somebody. You might have seen Justice Journal recently about someone clogging the toilet. And they beeped it out on the podcast. I actually know who did it. You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
The peer was Monty. Probably because he was half asleep and didn't realize that it was actually clogged. And the pooper was Christopher, not Chris.
Demiris. Not
The other Chris.
The new Chris.
So it's a team effort.
Really classic panel. And I do have I had a story involving, well, I'm really new to Rooster Teeth, and the first night that I ever had to work late on a project was back in July for RTX. We did Blondie and I, Barbara and I, did a behind-the-scenes video for RTX, and Brandon had entrusted me with putting the finishing touches on it and staying late one night. And the only person in the office was myself, and it was Monty. I was working really late, and before Carrie left, he was like, "Hey man, this place is haunted." He was like giving the new guy a hard time. And he leaves, and I've been working for a while, and there was he wasn't a person, there was a third being in the office. It was Marshall 2.0, which there's a picture of it in my journal. It was one of our computer chairs with a really like creepy, like soulless eyes drawing of Marshall's head and his jacket that he never takes off, and they set it so it was just staring at me all night. So I'm just typing away on the computer, it's really dark outside, there's only a few lights on, and then I hear like a bunch of commotion coming out of Monty's studio downstairs, and I hear the door open, and somebody's rummaging through all the crap. And I walk over and I look down, and Monty is going through all the crap underneath the stairs in our closet, and he's just throwing shit everywhere. And I'm like, "Hey dude, do you, I'm still really new." I'm like, excuse me, I'm Monty. Hi Miles, I think we met. Anyways, do you need help finding something? He looks up at me and he comes out with a garden rake. He goes, "There's a bug in the studio." Like straight face. He just does. And then he walks right back inside the studio. I then hear what sounds like highway construction for the next like 5 minutes, followed by just dead silence. Nothing. Door opens, I hear. And then a whole bunch of silverware and drawers and all sorts of stuff opening up. And I go over again, he's like, "Excuse me, Monty, do you need anything?" And he turns around and he has knives. Not a knife, but knives. Fucking butcher knives in his hand. And he just, it got away. That was one of my first experiences ever. It was, I don't know if he got it, man. Like, the next day I came out, I was like, "So what happened with the bug?" And he just goes, "I don't know." So confused, he refuses, like, he just acts like it never happened. So if you ever see Monty, just tell him, "Hey man, did you ever get that bug?" And now hopefully you guys will troll Monty for the rest of his life. I trust you.
You're back?
I have two. One is, why does Tech always hit shoot or punch a
I think it's a dominance thing. I think it's kind of like, you know what, you will not fuck with me, I will put you in your place. Bottom line. Miles thinks it's funny.
For Matt, I just want to know how you enjoyed the comic series, how you was put into hell for a little bit, you came back.
You know, Matt's not here. This is not Matt. This is Miles.
No.
Marshall. Say it again?
Under a site, it said, FedEx, and it said Matt would be in Toronto.
Oh, I know, and we're very sorry about that. He and Joel were not able to come out because they're still working on season 9.
I'm not complaining, just thought I could ask that question.
We love you.
Next question. Over there.
Do they not just secretly go out to Vegas again?
Well, you know what, you guys are going to hear about this, and I thought about this today. Matt and Joel, they wound up flying them out to PAX for a basically 24-hour turnaround to do a table read. So, you know, and unfortunately, I wish they would have done a 24-hour to come out for this event, but they have to get season 9 in the can by the end of the week so that you guys are able to get the whole DVD by the end of November, Christmas time. So that was what they were working on.
A little spoiler, but are we going to hear Maine's voice?
Well, there's a few grunts here and there, and there is a little bit of Wyoming, maybe possibly coming up. Because he's a British guy. Everybody loves the way that we sound. But I guess we count grunts and growls and things like that for now. Yeah, you get like a. We've actually had several people voice Maine before. I think Bernie's done it and Matt's done it, and I think maybe Jeff wants it. They just need, sometimes if they need somebody for
They
Maine.
need a drunk Maine, they have.
Really sloppy Maine.
Yeah.
Quick question about the engines you guys are using. Since all the freelancer stuff is done with the Halo 3 engine, and all of your newer stuff back in the New Blood Gulch is with the Reach. I'm just curious as to when this quote-unquote memory dream program is done with Church. Are you guys going to go back to full Halo 3, or are you going to be utilizing that engine again?
Yeah.
You know what, there's some stuff I guess we probably can't talk about. There's going to be integration of the different looks. That's one thing I can say. But as you all know, there's certain things that you can do with each of the games that even, it's not like they give us carte blanche to be able to do these fantastic moves and stuff like that. There's still limitations. So I think you'll see a good integration of all of the above.
Over there?
Is there anything coming up that you can specifically talk about that you're looking forward to? I'm curious.
Yeah, I think each of us can answer that. Personally, I really, really think you guys are going to be blown away by the rest of Season 9. The animation, most of it's animation. There's less machinima and there's more animation. And it just makes the excitement and also the music in it. As you guys, that was Jeff Williams who was singing in Colin. If you listen to the words when you can, because it's pretty hardcore, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Actually, I wish I could have pictures of all your faces when you see those episodes, but that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, it's funny too, like a screening like this, like the first half of this season are like all question marks. Like I see every episode as just big question marks, whereas the second half of the season is a lot more periods. So you're like, they're answering, a lot of the answers will come in the second half. So it's funny, like, in this situation that we're watching it right now, like there's still a lot of unanswered questions. But I guess what I'm looking forward to is like a lot of those answers just come like every single episode afterwards.
Well, I don't work at the office, so I have no idea what's coming up until you guys. Just more caboose, more great caboose quotes coming out of that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
There's a lot of more great Caboose quotes to come, I can promise you that. I'm really looking forward to the reintroduction of I guess you could say he's kind of a minor character that has been introduced in Season 9 that is a bit of he's an antagonist. There's the main antagonist in Season 8 is Maine, and then there's Wyoming in Blood Gulch Chronicles. And there's a new guy in season 9 that's been introduced that is very subtle in the first few episodes. He was on screen tonight, and might be coming back. He's coming back. And yeah, I'm looking forward to his return.